Okay, in lesson 6 we're going to be looking at trying to find a fractional part of a whole using division strategy. Now, they have some models that they've used here, but I'd like using a tape diagram. So we're going to go ahead and draw a quick tape diagram. And we're looking for 1/3 of a number. So that means we're going to split our tape diagram into thirds. And it says 1/3 of 12. So then I'm going to count out 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that using the tape diagram allows us to see that we know that 1/3 is actually going to equal 4. 2/3 would be 4 plus 4 would be 8. And then, of course, 3/3 would be the whole thing, which would be equal to 12. On B, again using a tape diagram, it says quarters this time. So that means I'm going to split the tape diagram into quarters. And this time we want to know what a fractional part of 20 is. So once again, I'm going to count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now we can see that 1/4 is equal to 5. We know that 2/4 would be equal to 10. 3/4 is equal to 15. And of course 4/4 would be all of it, would be equal to 20. On C, doing our tape diagram, and it says fifths, so I'm going to split it up into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going 35, so I'm going to count up to 35. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. So now we know that 1/5 of 35 is going to equal 7. That means 2/5 is going to equal 7 plus 7, so that would be 14. Leaving 3/5 would be 7 times 3 is 21. Our 4/5, we know the 7 1/8, so 4 times 7 would be 28. Now 5/5 would be the whole thing, would be 35. Now it's asking for 6/5, and I know that if I added another one on here, that would equal 6/5, and I would have to put another 7 in there. So 35 plus 7 is going to give us 42. So 6/5 would be equal to 42. Find 2/3 of 18. Draw the set and shade your to show your thinking. I would just like a tape diagram, and we know it's thirds. And it says 18, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And it's asking for 2/3. And we can see there's 6 in each one, so 6 plus 6, 2/3 of 18 equals 12. How does knowing 1/5 of 10 help you find 3/5 of 10? Well, when we draw a tape diagram, and we know we're going fifths, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, when we actually split this up, we're solving for 1/5. So we're doing 10, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we basically solved for 1/5. We know 1/5 of 10 equals 2. And what that allows us to know, now that we know 1/5 is 2, it allows us to know that 3/5 would equal 6. So the key is being able to solve for 1/5 first, and then we can use repeated addition or multiplication to solve out what other fractional value there is. Sarah just turned 18 years old. She spent 4/9 of her life in Rochester, New York. How many years did she live in Rochester? So let's go ahead and do a tape diagram. Now it says ninths, so I'm going to go ahead and split it into ninths. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I got to add one more for a 9. Now it says she's 18 years old, so let's split that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that was the 18 years old. It says she spent 4/9. So this here would be 4/9. And that's the time she lived in Rochester. So that means the remaining out is she did not live in Rochester. Now it's asking for how many years did she live in Rochester. Well, this is 4/9, and we know this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 2 gives us 8, so she lived 8 years in Rochester. A farmer collected 12 dozen eggs from her chickens. She sold 5/6 of the eggs to the farmer's market and gave the rest to her neighbors. How many dozens did she give away? How many dozens did the farmer give away? How many eggs did she give away? Okay, so there's two different questions there. And let's find out first how much she gave away. And it says here in 6, so we're going to go ahead and split it in half. Then I'm going to split them halves into thirds. We have 6. And now it says she had 12 dozen eggs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it says that she sold 5/6. There's 5/6 she sold. And this here is the 1/6 which she gave away. So the first thing says, how many dozens did the farmer give away? Well, she gave away 2 dozen. How many eggs did she give away? Well, this I know there's 2 dozen, and I know there's 12 eggs in a dozen. So that'll be 24 eggs she gave away. On B, she sold each dozen for $4.50. How much did she earn from the eggs she sold? Okay, we see she sold was 5/6, which was 2, 4, 6, 8. So she sold 10 dozen. And she sold them for $4.50 each. So if I wanted to do this, and I could go, there's 5, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each one was $4.50 if you wanted to draw it out. Now I could use repeated addition to add all those up to find out the total she earned. But if you remember from a long time ago, we had $4.50, and we're going to multiply that by 10 dozen. So we're multiplying by 10, so when the decimal is going to shift, this number is going to get larger, so we end up with 45. And that'd be $45 that she earned.